has fallen.
Hi guys, BigMonD here, and I have a quick guide to Dota 2 for you. This one's going to be about improving your CS, and for those of you who don't know what CS is, CS means creep score. It's the score for how many creeps you get the last hit on, be that the last hit of the enemy's creeps or denying experience from the other team. Now, what I'm going to do is do a quick tutorial on how to practice CS and things to look for. And I'm going to do this with a character I'm not very good at last hitting with, which is Puck. So I'm going to do this guide with Puck. This will pretty much apply to any character in the game, some less than others. I'm going to focus this on doing a mid bottle rush. I won't be buying regen, that's not necessarily the best thing to be doing, but I'm going to do it in this game just because it's going to make things a little simpler. I don't want to go over other parts of the game. If you weren't doing a bottle rush, you'd have slightly less last hitting power, but we'll worry about that later. Some characters are going to have more or less last hitting power anyway, so we'll worry about that later. Right, so I'm just in a passive bots match now, so what we're going to do is, to practice this, we're going to do a passive bots match. Once we're good at passive, we're going to go to easy, then we're going to go to medium, then we're going to go to hard, and then we're going to go to unfair. And we're going to be going to just under the 2-minute mark in each game. So if I drop in and I'll buy my starting items, and we'll go quickly over them. So with Puck, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a circlet, a mantle of intelligence, and
Prepare for battle.
Now again, I've not bought regen. I'm bottle rushing. If you're in a really low MMR or you're quite new to Dota, you might be able to get away with doing this, but if you're in a decent game, high MMR, something like that, you can't go in without regen. So you might be better off buying a salve at least, or a tango. Get your teammates to share a tango with you, but we'll worry about that in another video. This is purely about last hitting. As I say, I'm going to go mid. So let's have a wander down there now. Don't worry about the item build I've got up, that's just an experimental build.
My move.
So, what do I need to worry about for last hitting? First of all, I need to worry about my attack speed. And my attack damage. Most critically, the attack damage. Now, the attack speed is partly why we're going to do 2 minutes at a time for these. Is because you need to learn your character's attack animation to be able to do it. Now, there's a way you can make that
30 seconds
easier.
to battle.
We'll do that when we get to lane, but you really need to learn your character's attack animation, which is why we're starting on passive bots. Now, passive bots aren't going to attack me, and they're not going to really compete for last hits and denies much. They'll go for the odd last hit, but they're not going to compete much. So, we're going to go against passive bots first and get our creep score first. Now,
very well.
I'm bottle rushing this. So if I get 9 melee
the battle
creeps,
begins.
that's an average of 387 gold.
I'll find myself strangely drawn to this odd configuration of activity.
That'll get me enough for my bottle.
I venture
the gold
forth.
I'd naturally get anyway. That'll get me in my bottle, and I'd be able to deliver it before the 2-minute mark.
I proceed.
Exactly what you want when you're bottle rushing. Now, that's 12 last hits.
Absolutely.
This is probably not going to happen in a normal game. But we'll see, we'll see. So,
after them.
All I want to do is I am not going to attack the enemy creeps. And I'm not going to attack them at all until they're really low on health, and I think I can go for the last hit.
A prize.
So that's perfect.
With alacrity.
Again, let's deny that one.
Denied.
Now your priority wants to be for last hitting, not denying. If you have the choice, go for the last hit, not the deny.
In pursuit.
If you're playing support, your priority will be denying, and you shouldn't be last hitting at all if you support. But we're mid, so we need to do both.
Just so.
What you need to be looking out for is how many creeps are attacking the creep you're about to attack, so you can judge how fast his health's going to go down to try and time your hits right. Right, so I've pushed this way a bit too much. We'll do lane equilibrium another day. So at the minute, I'm last hitting just by trying to time my character's animation.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking at my animation and seeing how long does this animation take.
Stay and amuse me.
The other thing I can do, which helps if you've got an opponent contesting you.
I venture
fake
forth.
hits. Now if you go into the options menu and check what buttons you've got set as halt or stop.
Exactly so.
You'll want to be pressing one of those buttons. So what I can do is I can attack
Fair
and stop.
game.
And it puts me halfway through my attack animation. Now there's two benefits to that.
Don't run.
The first is it makes my enemy think I'm going for an early hit, which he needs to follow up with deny, which all means there's a much better chance of you getting a last hit. But it also puts you, by the time you actually decide to go for the last hit, you're already part way through your attack animation, which means you can get the hit in quicker. So I've actually gone well past the 2-minute mark, so we're going to hold there. I've got a pretty pathetic CS. I've got 6 for 1, so I'm going to quickly drop out of this game. I mean, perfect creep score will be 12 last hits and 12 denies, but that's never going to happen. Not even against passive bots. I would say you want to be going for... Against passive, you want to be aiming to get about 9 and 3. If you can learn your character's animation 9 and 3, you should be pretty solid. That's by about the 1 minute 40 second mark.
This should be less tiresome than another age in Chrysalis.
So same again, I'm going to start with a null talisman. I'm just going to bottle rush.
Prepare for battle.
I proceed.
What I'll do is I'll drag the bottle down anyway. When the bottle chimes...
Just so.
If it chimes before 2 minutes, I'm doing well. If it's after 2 minutes, I'm struggling.
Exactly
but this is passive bots, so I should be doing this. I should be able to do this no problem, because I'm not getting harassed.
Commendable
I
notion.
can freely concentrate on last hitting. At the very least, I should be getting a perfect last hits.
We are in accord.
Not necessarily perfect denies, because
30 seconds to
sometimes
battle.
you have to choose. And managing the creep's equilibrium is
I
something
go
we can
at
do.
will.
We'll look into later. But for this second game, I'm going to focus a little bit more on my last hits.
With alacrity.
And we'll see what sort of score I can get while I'm not busy trying to talk to you guys. So for most of this, I'm not going to talk too much.
Very
we'll see
well.
what we can get.
Absolutely. Just so. Denied. I have much to impart. Absolutely. We are in accord. I venture forth. My move. Less larva, more nymph. My turn. Exactly so. I proceed.
I want to push these back a bit,
Destroy.
so I'm not having to fight them under the tower. I'm just going to hit them at the odd time.
After them.
To make sure they die faster than mine. But I'm going to stop hitting them before the last hit.
Don't run.
To make sure I can time it. Okay, so I've got a bottle. I could easily get that delivered to me around 2 minutes.
With alacrity.
So that's the last wave of creeps that's going to come in. Let's take a look at my CS. So I'm 9 for 2, which isn't great. I'm now level 3. I'm going to get my next level in Illusory Orb. So, 9 for 2 is not bad. I mean, if I'd ordered it immediately, I could have got my bottle delivered by 2 minutes, used, and I could be grabbing a rune to fill it up again. Now, what that means in games where I'll actually be fighting the enemy is I can trade damage with the enemy, and because I've got my bottle quicker, I can heal up. I can spam my spells to use mana, and I can heal up. Okay, so quickly before we go out of passive, let's go over a couple of things we can do to improve our CS, because I'm only 9 for 2 at the minute. You notice at the minute I didn't use any abilities. So one thing I can do is I can, because my nuke is doing 70 damage on its first level, 140 on its second level.
I go at will.
It's always more than my last hits, even on now. I've leveled up a bit. I can wait till they're nearly
Very
down.
well.
And orb. And I think I missed that, actually. I think I left it too late.
I venture forth.
So I'm going to wait till they're low. Try and get more than one if I can.
Stay and amuse
There we
me.
go, so we're nuking. Now what I'm also trying to do is catch whoever I'm laning against in that as well.
Just so.
The downside to using your nukes is it's going to push the wave, and so then we end up fighting under the enemy's
With
tower,
alacrity.
and we don't want that. Generally, for every point of damage you do to the enemy's creeps, you want to be doing the same to your creeps, which is really easy when you're just using right clicks, but really hard when you're using nukes. So
Exactly
again,
so.
he's going to challenge me for that, so I'm just going to nuke it. Right, the other thing we can do, once my creeps push up,
We are in
if I'm
accord.
standing here, and the enemy creeps are standing here, I've got a miss chance whenever I'm hitting uphill. And perfect. So if I'm trying to last
They
hit here,
deserve no
there's
less.
a chance I'll miss. And I don't want that. So what I'll want to do to improve my last hitting is, whenever I'm last hitting up here,
Fair game.
I come and stand on the edge. So
Elevation.
that does two things. Firstly, it improves my hit chance,
Commendable
but it also gives
notion.
me sight of where the enemy is. Right. Hit chance doesn't matter when I'm spamming nukes, but it gives me sight on where the enemy is, so I know if they're about to
Indeed.
attack me, and it makes my last hitting easier.
Very
So that's
well.
perfect location. The other thing I can start to do is if I see two creeps that look like they're on the same health, I can go, right, I'm going to hit
Absolutely.
you once, and then wait, and then hit you again.
Mine,
That way you
yes.
stagger the creep's health,
In pursuit.
and in theory it'll give you an opportunity to last hit more.
Very well.
It's always going to take a bit of judgment in how many creeps are attacking what. You need to be aware, you need to look and see how many creeps are attacking the one that you're getting ready to last hit on.
Attack.
Because sometimes all the enemy creeps will attack the same guy, sometimes they'll
With
spread
alacrity.
out. You need to look at how fast the health is going down to time your last hits. Go up here, ready
Indeed.
for this last hit. Perfect. Now, because I'm going to nuke
They
this,
shall
I'm
regret
gonna,
this.
Oh, I can't nuke it. There we go. I'll use my silence. So yeah, two creeps, lowered them down to the same health, got them both
They
low,
deserve no
so I can
less.
nuke both at the same time. So that's perfect. Now, if you can get a perfect CS of 12-12, you're going to get 531 gold, and you're going to deny your opponent 531 gold at 1 minute and 45 seconds into the game. So for every 2 minutes of the game, you're going to have 1,000 gold advantage. So if you can perfect CS, which nobody in the world is going to... I doubt anyone in the world is good enough for that, but if you can perfect CS up to the 10-minute mark, you're going to have a 5,000 gold advantage on your enemy. And just consider that for a minute. 10 minutes in, you can have enough of an advantage to be worth a Desolator, nearly even a Mjolnir's, an Assault Cuirass. You can have big items like that. Almost a Satanic, easily a Skull Basher. So let's go into a... now that we've done that, I'm quite happy 9 for 2, so I'm going to go into an easy game now, rather than a passive game. So what this is going to do is the enemy are going to last hit a little bit more. They will deny on the odd occasion, though easy bots very rarely
This
deny.
one is gonna burn.
And if
I'll
I
pick.
really hang my ass out, they'll try and kill me. I still don't think it's enough to worry
This should
about
be
buying
less
regen at the
tiresome
start of the
than
game.
another age in
but,
Chrysalis. Exactly so.
But they are going to start hitting me, they are going to start trading with me.
Prepare for
So if I haven't got
battle.
that 2-minute bottle,
Indeed.
basically if I don't get that 2-minute bottle, I've really screwed myself over by not getting regen. And if you can play
Absolutely.
medium bots and get sort of a 9 for 2 to 1 minute 45
My
creep score,
move.
you're probably going to win most games if you're relatively new to
Just
Dota,
so.
below level 20, or you've got a below 2k, maybe 2.5k MMR.
Very
So
well.
you're probably going to win that quite easily.
We are in
Not
a
even
30
by any
seconds
team
to
fights, but
battle.
just by the amount of farm you'll get will be so much higher than the enemies.
I go at will. Absolutely.
Okay, so Lion is down the hill. I need to focus.
We are in
So Lion's
accord.
down the hill. He's going to have trouble challenging me.
I have much to impart.
Excellent.
Less larva.
So 3 out of 4 on the first wave, not bad.
Indeed.
But I have pushed the wave far too much. I need to pull these back to me. I'm not going to be able to get any denies very easily because they're under the tower.
Exactly so. They shall regret this.
This is a good thing about nukers. If you think you're going to miss a last hit,
Destroy.
you can use your nukes to pick it up. Again, I'm fighting under the tower and I don't want to. It makes things harder.
Fair game.
You really need to practice your CS without nukes. At
With
least don't use your
alacrity.
nukes until you're on medium, I would say, while you're practicing this. Just so you can
I
practice.
venture
So you're
forth.
not relying on your nukes. Your nukes are there for when things are going
Strength
badly.
out of season.
Or when you want to harass the enemy more.
Very well. They deserve no less. Stay and amuse me. Don't mind me.
Right, what am I? 8 for 1. Not brilliant. So I'm going to drop out. I'm going to come straight back in. Start game. 8 for 1. It's not amazing. I mean, I'm getting about
I'll pick.
70% last hit rate. I'll do another easy and then I'll go on to hard. And this is what you want to do. You do 2
What
minutes.
is this?
A lot of people look
A
at 10
game
minutes
of
CS.
some sort?
But the thing is, the
Exactly
first
so.
2 minutes are the hardest it is ever going to be in a game to last hit.
Prepare for battle.
well.
So if you can last hit in the first 2 minutes, you can last hit in
Commendable
the first 10
notion.
minutes. So this is what you need to practice, the first 2 minutes.
I proceed. Attack! How fitting. I proceed. In pursuit, don't mind me. I venture forth. We are in accord.
Got one then.
Indeed. They deserve no
I got
less.
both of them without nuking. That screwed me up.
I go at will. Absolutely. Ah! Exactly so. Less larva, more nymph. My move. What's this?
Right, 9 for 2, so a little bit better, not great. Let's quit out. Let's go on the next difficulty. See what happens when the enemy is better at last hitting and better at harassing me. Because at the minute I'm still pretty much got complete freedom. So what we'll see now I'm on medium, the enemy heroes are going to attack me more. The enemy heroes are going to deny more. They're going to get their last hit timings are going to be better.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to be having to spend my nukes more to get last hits, and I'm going to be having to spend my nukes more to harass the enemy out to give me freedom of last hitting. So what I want to try and do is make sure every time I spend a nuke, I last hit with it and I hit the enemy heroes.
30 seconds to battle.
But if you're fairly new and
We
you're just
are
doing this
in
for practice,
accord.
just concentrate on your last hits first and then worry about things like harass once you've got your CS down.
With alacrity.
That was ridiculous, shouldn't have missed that at all. Right, this one's difficult. They're going to all be
Very well. A prize. Exactly so. Don't mind me. have much to impart. Less larva, more nymph. Destroy.
Should have used my nuke then. It was ready. I could have got that last hit with my nuke.
Stay and amuse me. Commendable notion.
I don't want him to push up under my tower. Just get that one with the nuke.
So.
If they push up under my tower, it's going to be really hard to last hit.
Indeed.
So I want to avoid that.
Elevation. I go at will. Very nice. I venture forth.
Right, what am I on? 10 for 2, so I'm getting better even though I'm on a higher difficulty setting. Still not got anywhere near enough denies. Easily got enough money for my bottle. Next game on hard. So hard, again, they're going to harass me. Even I'm quite surprised Bane didn't harass me at all on medium.
Prepare for
I was
battle.
always on the high ground, he was always standing in the river, or for the most part.
Very
Makes
well.
it very, very difficult for him to harass me in that respect, so... when I'm on hard's positioning is going to be better. They're going to attack, they are going to... You know, I can't see a hard bot not pressuring me. I've really got to get my positioning right to not be attacked.
With alacrity.
And as well as the fact that his own last hit and deny timings is going to be quite
30 seconds to battle.
I used to only take the circlet and the mantle of intelligence on Puck, but this on Puck gives you so much last hitting power because it gives you 6 intelligence for last hitting power for 6 more damage. It gives you 3 more damage for straight up damage, and the 6 intelligence you get from it gives you a lot more mana to spend your nuke, so you can get extra nuke before you get your bottle.
The battle
really
begins.
Not a great block, reasonable block there.
Mine, yes. Attack!
I want to push these away from my tower a bit, because if they get any
fair game
closer, it's going to get difficult to last hit under my tower.
Stay and amuse me.
Really, I pushed them too far then.
A welcome transformation.
Now I'm going to be fighting. Now I'm going to be fighting uphill, which I don't want, because now I'm uphill. Zeus is going to punish me for it.
Indeed. My move.
So I'm going to come up on the hill.
Just
too late.
So.
So here we go. Now I'm fighting under my enemy's towers.
I venture forth.
Really bad.
With alacrity.
It's going to be virtually impossible to deny.
We are in accord. I proceed. Very well.
So I missed that deny because I was shooting uphill.
Commendable notion.
See, I missed that because I was under my tower. And that one.
Don't run.
Right, so what have I got now? 5 and 0. Well, that wasn't because of the difficulty, that was my mistakes. I made some big mistakes in terms of controlling my creep equilibrium, so rather than keeping it in this area here, I ended up pushing it up to here. I fought it under my tower, I fought it under their tower. That makes it really hard to last hit. So creep equilibrium is really important. Quite surprised Zeus is still not pressuring me, but let's disconnect. Let's have one more game on unfair to see how this goes. So the unfair, they're really going to punish me anytime I get out of position. It's going to be really hard to get denied.
Prepare
especially
for battle.
If I've got an enemy hero with decent last hitting power. Look at their lineup. I'm probably going to be against Razor or Kunkka.
I venture forth.
Razor's going to be a problem because he's going to be nuking me and my wave too.
With alacrity.
So that could help me with the creep equilibrium a little bit. I could bait out his plasma and phase out.
Absolutely.
But really, I've just got to focus on keeping the fight here. If I can keep the fight
30
within
seconds
this box,
to battle.
I can last hit and deny freely without taking much damage
Just
myself.
so.
His job is to make sure it's never in that box.
Very well.
And really, he wants to be making it in this box. And of course, if I was on the Radiant side, it'd be the other way around. I could have sworn I was set to random sides.
Indeed.
Seem to be always getting dire.
I pro at will. In pursuit.
Too early. Get that complaint from the ladies a lot.
I accept. Destroy.
See, Tiny was straight in there with the deny then. He's got 66 attack power. He hits harder than I do, which means it's going to be really hard for me to get any last hits. Even if I don't make a mistake,
my game.
he can hit earlier than I can.
Attack.
First blood.
Well, if it ain't first bloody blood.
Missed the last hit that I really should have got then.
They deserve no less. We are in accord.
Where the hell is Tiny?
I go at will.
He is making me quite nervous.
A welcome transformation. Fair game.
Could have got that with my nuke again.
Denied. With alacrity.
You need about 6 eyes to play Dota. You need 2 for the main game, 2 for the map, 2 for your ability cooldowns, 2... It can be quite silly. Oh, and I've gone a little bit further. I'm still only 6 for 2, 7 for 2, 2 minutes in.
Very well.
Right, so bear in mind I've had another 4 creeps potentially to kill and to deny. I'm still only 9 for 2. I can afford a bottle, but this is getting harder. You see how Tiny got that denied. To be honest, I'm quite surprised doing these videos that the AI hasn't been more aggressive. So right, one last thing. We've been focusing on the mid lane, so by 2 minutes you want to be going for somewhere around the 9 for 3 creep score. I mean, obviously perfect is 12 for 12, but you're not going to get perfect, so let's be reasonable. You want about a 9 for 3, and if you can get that against unfair bots, you're doing okay. Now, in one of the side lanes, we've got a carry and a support. You carry, you should last hit and deny as a carry. You should do both, but your priority is always on last hitting. So, really, as a carry, you should be getting almost every last hit. So you should be getting sort of 10 at least last hits. Deny is not important how many you get. If you get an opportunity, go for it. But really, you want at least 10 last hits before the 2 minute mark. As support, because you're going to have less attack power than the enemy carry, or usually, it's Death Prophet seems to have quite a high attack power. But as a support, it's harder to deny, because the enemy carry will usually have more attack power than you. But you're going to try. Go for the 2 minutes in. I would say as a support you need to be going to have at least 6 denies. I mean, 6 denies is going to deny your enemy roughly 43 gold for each melee creep and 48 gold for each range creep. So if you can get 6 denies, you're denying him about 275 gold every 2 minutes, which is quite a lot. So really important when you're playing support to deny. There are other ways to deny. You can deny by chasing them out of lane. You can harass them to the point where they can't come into lane. If Death Prophet were to come back and pull their creeps into the trees here, when those creeps die, these guys aren't in range, so effectively you've denied a full wave of creeps, even though you've not actually denied them, but you've stopped the enemy getting the score, and that's what matters. So yeah, there's creep score, guys. This is a way you can practice it. Go to 2 minutes in a game and just wait till you get in sort of 9 for 2 mid, and then up the difficulty, and just keep doing that until you're comfortable with the character. By all means, go and see if you can get a perfect CS against easy bots. It's probably possible. I don't think it'd be possible against unfair bots. Not unless you've got maybe with some characters, but I don't think it would be possible. Anyway, if you found the video useful, guys, please like, favourite, subscribe, share it to your friends, show them how to last hit properly. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon.